Welcome to the Blooming from Within podcast. Let's ditch social media misinformation together and discover that spirituality is more than your self-care practice. Spirituality means living life at the fullest while being your true self. Come on this journey with me. Hello, you beautiful souls. I hope you're all doing well. You probably noticed that I have a new intro for the podcast, and you maybe question yourself, what does this mean? It's time for a new season. And if you follow this podcast from the beginning, you know that I wanted to structure this podcast from like a nature perspective. Every season is aligned with the season of nature: summer, autumn, winter, and spring. And this first was all about discovering and learning and getting to know more about spirituality. But now I just feel that the energy is shifting, and even though summer isn't finished, like we just have more than half of August, but with this new moon in Leo and just finding myself with thoughts about school, I'm just getting into a preparation for a new season and also getting into it. So even if we don't want to recognize that autumn is knocking at the door, it's still, the energy is still here. Like, if you don't accept that it will come, it won't stop it. Like, it will still come. It just will make the process even harder if we don't accept that it's here. Let's connect with our souls and our bodies, and let's take a deep breath together and settle in before starting this episode. So when you're ready, maybe close your eyes and just soften into your body. And then just take a deep breath in. And let it go. One more time. Inhale. Let it go. I hope these deep breaths help you get a little bit deeper into yourself, and just remember that you have you and you don't need to rely on someone else. So the past episodes have been a lot about energy, and I've had a chapter of just deep questions and really questioning life and really having big questions. Those really, the questions about purpose, about life, about who am I. And I just realized that now the energy is shifting, and I don't need to escape, but I need to let that feelings go. It's okay to feel what you need to feel, but you need to understand that at some point we need to move from those feelings. We need to go forward, like little steps, one step at a time. And now I'm just moving from that state. I just realized with the new moon that's today, I don't know when this episode is going to go live, but today is the 16th of August and it's a new moon in Leo. And I've just been feeling a lot of the summer endings and school starting feelings, and also really being really scared of not, I really want to be my true self, even stepping out of the world, even like when I'm at school. It feels really hard to express myself as I truly am, and I want this year to make this happen. I don't want to hide myself. I want to show myself fully, and I hope that this new moon will give me some guidance on that. And I just want to make the best of this year, even if it's a really fiery year for me. And I just want to make it a mystical experience. I know that through hard things and through the things that scare us the most, that's when we get to know ourselves. That's when we just discover more of who we are, and that's where the spark comes. So I'm just getting ready for that chapter, and this new moon is going to be the first puzzle piece, I think. Like, not the first, but the second. The first was realizing that the energy is shifting and a new chapter is beginning. Like, every new moon is just a new chapter beginning, like taking the threshold between a chapter ending and a chapter beginning. An ending comes with a beginning. It's never a beginning alone or an ending alone. They always come together. Maybe you already know that I tried to get more into my feminine energy, with Venus being in retrograde right now until September. Even if you're not into astrology, it really gets deep into the love part of life, and also if the feminine energy, they come together. And I just tried to make this podcast more of a flow part, not planning that much, and just getting more into my creative state. And I think that you could feel it through my episodes, because I didn't have a list with keywords. I just had a discussion with you based on the thoughts that I had in my mind at that moment. And now I just feel the need to balance the feminine and the masculine, and usually that's the goal, to have them both. And I feel that now I need a little bit more of the structure, even if it feels scary, because when I'm in school and when I'm in that place, I have all the task lists. I just try to make it all organized, and it just feels, when I'm trying to make this, it just feels that I feel really stressed. It just feels that I'm getting back to that school environment, and I just start to be really stressed of what's going to be. So I just want to change a little bit my perspective on the masculine energy. Right now, it feels really good to have a list of things that I want to talk about in this episode, because I know that I won't miss anything that I think it's important, and it just makes me be accountable to what I want to do, and also to let those thoughts go so I can take it step by step. I don't need to hold everything together in my mind. I can just let them on paper and then just pick them again when I need. It just I feel a little free when I just write them on paper, but sometimes it just gets really overwhelming to just have them all there, to have it all figured out. Usually when you write tasks, you just have that impression that you have it figured out. If you do them all, if you just take them all out, your life is going perfectly, you are organized, but that doesn't mean that you have it figured out. It doesn't mean that you're doing it perfectly. It doesn't mean that you're organized. It just means that it's like helping you to get things done, and you're getting more into your masculine energy. And you just need to balance both. You need to get caught up into this do and this mindset of the masculine. You also need to get into the feminine and let it flow and be creative with your life and in your life. It's just really important to have them both. And maybe I just had too much of the feminine right now. So let's talk a little about the current energy, that's the current energy waves. And even if you're not a student, even if you don't start school in autumn, and you're still a new beginning right now, it's still a new chapter that's going to start for you. And I feel that you're going to feel the energy. Like, the energy is still here, even if you're aware of it or not. And I just feel that with Leo, with this new moon being in Leo, is really this thing to express our true selves outside of our comfort zone, and really remaining our true selves, in not being afraid to show ourselves fully. Maybe you feel this energy that awakens you, that makes you have some realizations about your life, and it will be like a place where you can see more of your path, and you will get clear on what you want to do in the future. You will unlock some vision for your next steps, and it's a really good time to reflect on where you're heading, and just feeling the energy, tuning in with your intuition, and just maybe making a plan, and just balancing that feminine and masculine even in that. So planning is more on the masculine side, but as you go on, maybe things change, the energy changes, and you just need to adjust. And here is when the feminine energy plays a huge role. And I feel that you don't need to be rigid with that. You need to accept that changes will come. But maybe you feel more relaxed when you have a plan in front of you. You have, you can see what's the next step. Just take it step by step and try to lead with the heart, tune in your intuition, with your intuition, and just stay with this team, remaining your true self in tough situations and just not being afraid to do that. That's the theme for this chapter that's beginning now. If you also start school and you feel overwhelmed and just don't want to get back to those habits that you had before, or those reactions that you had before, it's a really great time to tune into that and to see what you want to change and what intentions you want to have for this chapter, for this bigger season, for this whole year. Maybe setting some intentions, just tuning in with what feels good. I just have a fiery year ahead, have some big goals or big blocks that I need to get through, and I want to approach them in a different way from other people. I don't really know how I want to approach it yet. I'm going to get more clear after doing today's new moon ritual and just seeing what my intuition says. And I really encourage you to do that too, even if it's not at this new moon. It will still be the energy even 2 or 3 days afterwards, so it's still a good time to tune in. Before ending this episode, I want to talk a little bit about season 2 of the Blooming from Within podcast. And this season is going to be inspired by autumn, by the natural season, and it's going to be all about working on what we've learned in this past season, in what we've learned in summer, and really preserving that information. As if you imagine, in spring we plant the seeds, then in summer the plants grow, and then in autumn we harvest the fruits and veggies and everything. And just have that in mind. We worked in summer and we just nurtured our plants, and now we want to harvest those gifts and those pieces that are really important for us. I don't really have a plan for the next season. I just have this theme, and I will journal a bit about it and just see what it comes my mind, and just coming up with some ideas and combining the feminine and masculine, because at the start of my podcast I wanted to make it a lot of the masculine, just planning every episode and not letting myself have that intuition side where I just decide on the moment what I want to talk about. And I feel that this is why I had a couple of episodes where they weren't that, they were just thoughts, energy waves, and just random things that came to my mind because I was just caught up on all the things that I needed to do, that I just wanted to do what I felt like doing. And I want to have more of a balance between the masculine and feminine. So I really hope you enjoyed season 1, and I hope that you look forward to season 2 of my podcast. And I hope this place is supportive and just makes you feel good. For me, this place is all about getting out of my comfort zone and expressing myself fully, really healing my voice and just being my true self. I hope that I can inspire you to do the same, to step out and just show your spark, because you have a spark. You are unique, you are beautiful. You just need to believe in yourself and show yourself fully. Before leaving, I just wanted to say that supporting my podcast really warms my heart and really makes me want to go on with this journey and just create more. So if you enjoy my weekly episodes, if you love this podcast, then please subscribe to it, give it a 5-star review, and share it with a friend. Send it to a loved one, and maybe share it on stories, on your Instagram stories. It really helps me out. It really makes me feel like I have a purpose, and it really makes me feel that I help people, and this just blows me away. So wherever you are, sending you all the love and light. Go and make it happen. See you next time.